So you must have read the question on your screen. Okay, how much urea subsidy has been sanctioned by the government for the coming 3 years? So if you know the answer, it's good. If you don't know, you will come to know very soon. So today, as you know that today's topic is about current affairs, and I will discuss about the current affairs which related to fertilizers only. Okay. So let us discuss. So recently, during a cabinet meeting of the government of India, some of the schemes has been launched and some new initiatives were approved. Okay, we will discuss about that. All those schemes were related to fertilizers, or in some or other form, it was related to fertilizer. Okay. The first one was related to urea subsidy and NBS, nutrient-based subsidy. What government has decided they have decided to increase or extend the subsidy, urea subsidy to the farmer for further 3 years. Okay, means till March 2025, government has decided to give urea subsidy. You know, the urea subsidy that is given by the farmer is not covered by any act of the parliament. Okay, it is a policy issue. And the farmers, you know, last 2 years back, farmers were protesting for that, and they were demanding to put these kind of subsidies like urea subsidy or MSP under a statutory act of the parliament. Okay, but this has not been done. So still the urea subsidy that government gives is a policy issue, and therefore every time cabinet meets and extend, they decide whether to give urea subsidy further to the farmers or not. So they have decided that they will provide till March 2025 or for 3 years. And they have sanctioned an amount of 3.68 lakh for that period. Okay. Government has sanctioned 3.68 lakh crore for urea subsidy for the 3 years. Okay. So this is the twist here. Okay. This question may be asked. Okay. And there may be twist in your exam for 3 years or for 1 year. Okay. So you must be careful here. You know that government provides a subsidy on urea that is equal to the amount which will make the price of urea equal to 245 for 45 kg bag. Okay, this is the subsidy is not fixed how much subsidy they will give. Government has decided that whatever may be the price of urea in the market, okay, and whatever price we decide, in this case, it is 242 for 45 kg bag. The difference in that price, market price and the price that government has decided, okay, the difference in that price will be given to the fertilizer manufacturers. Okay. So government had decided that urea will be sold in the country at the rate of 242 rupees for 45 kg bag. So the difference in amount will be given to the fertilizer manufacturer. Currently, the market price of urea is around 2,200 rupees for 45 kg bag. So now the government has decided 242 rupees. So the difference in price, there is a huge difference. So this much amount of money per bag urea will be given to the fertilizer manufacturers if they sell this subsidized urea to the farmer and for the agriculture purpose. One more twist here is that this price is excluding of taxes. Okay, taxes means GST, SGST, IGST, as well as neem coating charges. Okay, so actually in the market, when the farmer will purchase the urea, he will have to pay more than 242 rupees. Why? Because the company will add the taxes as well as charges for neem coating. Why the charges for neem coating? Because in 2015, under the new urea policy was released in 2015, government has mandated that all the subsidized urea has to be neem coated. Okay, it is mandatory that any urea on which government gives subsidy, that has to be a neem coated urea. Okay, so this charge company will take. Okay, so the actual price will be higher. So can you guess why neem coating was made mandatory for subsidized urea? Why? Because urea is not only needed for agriculture purpose, but it is needed for industrial purpose also. Many other things can be manufactured using urea. So what happened before 2015 was that government used to give subsidy for agriculture purpose only, but that urea was diverted to non-agriculture purpose for industrial purpose. Okay, so to stop that diversion, government made mandatory this neem coating was made mandatory, and the neem coated urea was useless for the industrial purpose. So this was done there. So this is what you need to remember: 242 rupees for 45 kg bag, and the excluding of neem coating charges and the excluding of taxes. Okay. Apart from that, government has decided to give 1.8 lakh crore total subsidy for this year, for this Kharif season. So this is not important. Okay. This one till this was only important. Okay, yes. The annual demand of urea is 35 million ton. Okay. And the annual production in India is 28 million ton. So there is a difference. Production is less, demand is more. So the difference is imported from outside. So to reduce this difference, government has decided to establish 8 new nano urea plants by 2025-26. And with this, they aims to make India self-sufficient in urea production by 25-26. This is another important point. Okay, when government has planning to establish India as a self-sufficient nation in urea production. Okay, you know about nano urea that was recently developed. If you don't know, I had already given you this, no? This PDF about nano urea and nano DAP. Okay, this PDF has already been given to you in the group. And you know, the first nano urea in IFCO has developed the nano urea, and it is the first such fertilizer in the world. Okay, it has been developed by Nano Biotechnology Research Center at Kalol, Gandhinagar. This research center belongs to IFCO only. Okay, and the inventor is Ramesh Ralia. Okay, the first urea plant was inaugurated by Prime Minister Modi. Anything which is inaugurated by Prime Minister becomes very important. So that was inaugurated as Kalol only. Okay. So this is all about the urea. Apart from that, apart from nano urea, nano DAP was also released. So this is nano DAP was also developed by IFCO only. And this has been given to you in the this PDF has been given to you in the group. You can go through this. Let us discuss the current issues. So that urea subsidy is over. You can see here, apart from urea subsidy, government also gives nutrient-based subsidy. So what is nutrient-based subsidy? It is given to a particular nutrient, not to the fertilizer. Urea subsidy is on the fertilizer. Urea is a fertilizer, but nutrient is nitrogen. Okay. But what about other nutrients? Farmers require subsidy for phosphorus also, phosphate also, potash also, sulfur also. So to cover all those nutrients, nutrient-based subsidy scheme was released by the government in which year? In 2010. Nutrient-based subsidy was announced. Okay. So under this, government gives subsidy on particular nutrients. Okay. If you go through this PDF, it will become much more clear. Okay. This is the office memorandum or the declaration by the government for the nutrient-based subsidy for the Kharif season. Okay. What they are saying that government will give NBS on nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, and sulfur. Okay. At what rate? For 1 kg of nitrogen present in a fertilizer, 76 rupees, 76.49 rupees will be given as a subsidy. Similarly, for phosphorus also, potassium also, and sulfur also. This you need not to remember because this keeps on varying. You just have to remember this. on which nutrient-based subsidy is given. Okay, at nitrogen, phosphate, potash, and sulfur. Okay, apart from these, government also gives subsidy on this boron and zinc. Okay, but this subsidy on boron and zinc is not on per kg basis. Okay, if your fertilizer has been fortified with boron or zinc, okay, so for every ton of the fertilizer, MT here is metric ton. Metric ton and ton are the similar units, very grams of difference is there. So every ton of fertilizer, okay, if your fertilizer is fortified with boron, for every ton of that fertilizer, 300 rupees will be given as subsidy. And similarly for zinc, 500 rupees will be given as subsidy. So apart from NPK and S, Government of India also gives subsidy on boron and zinc. Okay. So NPKS subsidy is given on which fertilizers? There are 25 grades of fertilizer on which Government of India gives subsidy on NPK and S, or nutrient-based subsidy is given on 25 grades of fertilizer. What are fertilizer grades? We will discuss when we will be dealing with the fertilizer chapter. Okay. So DAP is covered, MOP is covered, SSP is covered. After that, these NP, K and S, grade. Grade means this is the name of the fertilizer and this is the grade. And DAP provides 18% nitrogen, 46% phosphorus, no potassium, no sulfur. So this is the grade. Okay. This is the name of the fertilizer. Okay. You can sell this with other name also, other brand name also, but this is the grade. These are the grades. Okay. There are 25 grades, such grades on which government will provide subsidy. Okay. So these are the important points from this. Now you know that nutrient-based subsidy is given on NPK and S. Okay. For nutrients as well as boron and sulfur. And that on the 25 grades of fertilizer. Okay. So nutrient-based subsidy. This is the nutrient-based subsidy given away by the government for the Kharif season. Need not to remember this right now. Yeah, this is the important thing. How much subsidy government has fixed for this coming year? Okay, you can see here total fertilizer subsidy for the year 2023-2024 is 1.75 lakh crore. Okay, this is the total fertilizer subsidy that government has decided. Under urea subsidy, 1.3 lakh crore. Under NPS, it is 0.4 lakh crore. So out of these three, you can remember any two: urea subsidy and total fertilizer subsidy. Just subtract this, and you can easily calculate this NBS subsidy. So total fertilizer subsidy, government has allocated 1.7 lakh crore for this year. Okay, so this is the important question. You can see the question here. How much urea subsidy has been sanctioned by the government for the coming 3 years? What is the answer for this? This is A is the correct answer. You can see here. Just now we read sanction 3.68 lakh crore. Okay. Now, next question is, according to budget estimate of 2023-24, what is the budget allocation for fertilizer subsidy? How much money has been allocated for fertilizer subsidy? Just now you have read. It is 1.75 lakh crore. Okay. So C is the correct answer here. Okay. Let us move forward. Apart from this, other decision that was taken was introduction of sulfur-coated urea. This also I have given you in the group. Okay, let us revise it again. Sulfur coated urea is also called urea gold because sulfur has a golden color, and when you coat the urea with the sulfur, it will also acquire golden color. Okay, this is the first time sulfur coated urea is being introduced in our country. Like neem coated urea, this sulfur coated urea also is a slow release fertilizer. It releases nitrogen very slowly in the soil. So because of this slow release, less amount of this nutrient is required in the soil. Okay, so we will save fertilizer cost on the fertilizer as well as the toxicity of the soil. Okay, being a slow release fertilizer, it has absorption efficiency of 70 to 80% as compared to 30% in the conventional urea. Conventional urea is highly soluble in the water, so it dissolves very quickly and leaches in the soil. And most of the urea is or nitrogen present in the urea is not available to the plant. So the absorption efficiency is 30% here. But because it is released slowly, urea gold is released very slowly. So plants have enough time to absorb the nutrients present in them. So their absorption efficiency is 70 to 80%. So more nutrient plant is absorbing. Okay, per 1 kg of fertilizer, if you apply in the soil, 70 to 80% is being absorbed by the plant. If more nutrient being absorbed, the nitrogen use efficiency of the crop also increases. Okay, so nitrogen use efficiency as well as nitrogen absorption efficiency both are higher in case of sulfur coated urea, and same thing is true about neem coated urea also, because neem coated urea is also a slow release fertilizer. Sulfur content in urea gold is 4 to 15%. Okay, and it has been developed in USA, Tennessee Valley Authority. First time it was developed there only. What are other sulfur containing fertilizers in India? They are gypsum, pyrite, bentonite clay. Bentonite sulfur has recently been introduced in India. Bentonite is a clay, okay, which is in which sulfur has been added. Okay, this is another important development here. Okay, now the sulfur coated urea is clear for you. Moving on to the next. The other important decision was the market development assistance for promoting organic fertilizers. So, you know that government in 2018 had launched a Govardhan scheme under which the animal waste, okay, animal dung or any other organic waste in village will be converted to the this biogas, okay, through biogas plants. Okay, so all the after converting that organic waste to biogas, okay, the solid which remains in the biogas plant that can be converted to organic fertilizers. Okay, so for promoting or marketing of those organic fertilizers, government has launched market development assistance. So under this, government will provide 1,500 rupees per ton of those kind of organic manures, okay, for their marketing. Okay, so this is the new development here. This is not that important, but for your IBPS AFO, but for NABARD and all that, this is an important development. Okay, next most important scheme that has been approved by the government is PM Pranam. Okay, actually this scheme was announced in the budget itself, but this has been approved recently by the cabinet. Okay, what is the aim of this scheme? First of all, what is the full form of this scheme? It is PM Program for Restoration, Awareness, Nourishment, and Amelioration of Mother Earth. Okay, the name itself suggests that this is about reducing the chemical fertilizers and promoting organic or some kind of natural farming. Okay, so the aim here is to reduce the use of chemical fertilizers, okay, and promote natural or organic fertilizers or alternate fertilizers like your nano urea, nano DAP, all those, okay, as well as biofertilizer. Okay, so what actually happens in this scheme is that government of India will promote the states to reduce the consumption of subsidized fertilizer. Government gives subsidy on urea and other kind of chemical fertilizers. So if the state will reduce the consumption of those chemical fertilizers on which government of India gives subsidy, what will happen? This, if the consumption of urea will decrease, what will happen? The subsidy that government will give on the urea, that also will decrease, and the government of India will save the money. Okay, so that money that the government will save, 50% of that money will be given to the state which has reduced the consumption of those fertilizers. Okay, understood? This is the main crux of the scheme. Okay, so there is no separate budget for this scheme. Okay, whatever money states government of India will save because of the reduction in the use of chemical fertilizers like urea and other NBS based fertilizer, that money, 50% of that money will be given as a grant to the state. Okay, so out of that money, suppose government is saving 100 crore rupees. Okay, let us suppose that Karnataka has reduced the use of fertilizers, urea and other chemical fertilizers, and by reducing the consumption of urea, government of India has saved 100 crores. So out of this 100 crore, 50 crore will be given to the state as a grant, as a reward for doing good work. Okay. So out of this 50 crore, states can use 70% of this 50 crore for adoption of alternate technology, adoption of alternate fertilizers, means for more capacity building. You create more units, more manufacturing plants, and you invest in further research in different fertilizers. Okay, 70% money will be invested in that, and 30% of that money will be invested to encourage farmer further encourage the farmer to use alternate or organic fertilizers. Okay, and educate them and all those things. Okay, so this point is very important under this scheme. How much share is for the state, and this share is different for different states. Suppose Karnataka has saved 100 crore, so 50 crore will be given. Okay, if UP has saved 200 crores, so 50% of 200 crore will be given to UP. Okay, like that. It will depend upon the performance of the state. Okay. So this is all about this scheme. What you need to remember here is the full form and the percentage share, that is share between department, between state and the center. And also this point, the scheme will not have a separate budget. Okay. Okay. So this was all about the recent development in the fertilizer sector in India. Okay. Apart from this, there are some older schemes which are still relevant and important for your exam. Let us have a look on them. One is Pradhan Mantri Bharatiya Jan Urvarak Pariyojana, which is famously known as One Nation, One Fertilizer. One Nation, One Fertilizer scheme. Under this scheme, government has said that whichever company produces urea, of subsidized, whichever company is selling the subsidized urea or subsidized fertilizers, okay, they will not use their brand name. Okay, they will use a single brand name, that is Bharat, and a single logo of Pradhan Mantri Bharatiya Jan Urvarak Pariyojana. There is a logo for that. That logo and the brand will be Bharat. Okay, if IFFCO has produced urea, okay, and IFFCO has claimed subsidy on urea, means that urea is for farmers. So this bag will not have logo of IFFCO. They will have the logo of Bharat, PMBJP logo, and the brand name of Bharat. Okay, this is the this is the mandatory. This has been mandatory under this scheme. Why this has been done? To reduce confusion among the farmer. Okay, see, different companies will produce the same product, but they will market them in different manners. They will say that my product is better. IFFCO will say that my urea is better. NFL will say that my urea is better. Farmer gets confused. Okay, so therefore, to reduce the confusion, this has been done. Okay, all the urea same, they will give 46% nitrogen, but to reduce the confusion among farmers, this has been done. One more thing is to reduce the cost of the urea. Okay, what happens is that if some company has been able to market their product in a very well manner, what will happen? Farmers will go and search for that brand only. Okay, everybody will go and search for that brand only. And finally there will be scarcity of that brand. Okay, what will happen? Then farmers will go on pay more to get that brand of urea. So to reduce the reduction of for the reduction of cost also, that has been done. Okay. So this is one of the important scheme. Let us move to the next scheme, PM Kisan Samriddhi Kendras. Okay. This was also launched in October 2022. Here, what has been done is that all the fertilizer sale points, okay, fertilizer shops, okay, they are being identified and they are being developed as a PM Kisan Samriddhi Kendras. Okay, what will happen in these Kendras? Okay, they were fertilizer shops, so fertilizers will be sold. Apart from fertilizer, seeds, farm implements, okay, soil testing facilities, and seeds and fertilizers, all of these will be sold from this point, as well as farmers will also get information about government scheme, new farming techniques, and all those things. Okay, not only fertilizers. Okay, so the aim is that 3.25 lakh crore fertilizer retail shops in our country, they will be approached by the government and they will be converted to PM KSKs. Okay, so under PM KSKs, not only fertilizers will be sold, but all the agriculture inputs will be sold. Okay, even the free seeds will be given if government has some scheme under which free seeds are given. That will be done, as well as the information about government schemes will also be given to the farmers. Okay, so this is all about this scheme. Very small schemes are there, but very important. Soil health card scheme was launched in 2015. Under soil health card scheme, what is the most important thing is the this. You know, soil health card is a piece of paper on which the nutrients, all the nutrients present in the soil of the farmer's field are their data is present. Okay, so there will be 12 parameters in that soil health card, which will give you pH, electrical conductivity, and the content of 10 nutrients. That is carbon, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, sulfur, zinc, boron, all those things. Okay, so this is the important thing. 12 parameters are given, and this soil health card is renewed every 3 years. Okay, this is also important. And how much money government of India gives? That is 190 rupees per soil sample is given by government of India to the state for testing the fertilizers. So the next one is Govardhan scheme. Govardhan scheme, why we are discussing here is that, why? Because recently in the cabinet decision, I have told you that market developmental assistance scheme was launched by the government. You can see here. This scheme, okay, this scheme was launched under Govardhan, was launched for the fertilizer produced in the Govardhan plants. So Govardhan scheme is not basically an agriculture related scheme. Okay, it was launched in 2018 under Swachh Bharat Mission Phase 2. Okay, and the coordinating ministry here is Department of Drinking Water Sanitation and under Ministry of Jal Shakti. So what happens in this scheme? Is that the animal waste or the animal dung or the village kitchen waste in the villages are collected and they are being used in biogas plants. Okay, biogas plants are set up in the villages itself, and the main aim is that. So you see here, this is launched under Swachh Bharat Mission scheme. So the main aim is the cleanliness of the village. Okay, and while making the village clean, farmers can also get monetary benefit out of that. Okay, the biogas plant will give biogas uh, for their household, as well as the biofertilizers they will get, or organic manures. Sorry, organic manures they will get. Okay, so the district is the implementing agency under this scheme. Finances is there, how the money will be given. So these are not important for you for AFO. What is important is that for 1 cubic meter of biogas plant, you need 2 to 3 animals. Under animal husbandry, this information is important. This you need to remember. Okay. For 1 cubic meter of biogas plant, you need 2 to 3 animals. So if a household has more than 3 animals, within that house only, the panchayat can set up a biogas plant. Okay. Okay. So this was all about the schemes that was recently in news under fertilizer sector. Okay. So why not solve some of the questions? Under PM Pranam scheme, what percentage of grant is received by the state used for technology adoption? It is E. It is 70% has to be used for technology adoption. Which among the following statements is true with respect to Pradhan Mantri Bharti Jan Urvarak Pariyojana? So it is also known as One Nation, One Fertilizer scheme. Yes, it is true. It mandates the use of a single brand and a logo for subsidized fertilizer. Also, this is also true. It aims to establish sales center. No, this is not true. So A and B is true. The correct option will be D. A and B both. Okay. So this was all for today. If you have any doubt, you can ask.